Hello, everyone. Today, I want to share my story with you. It is about my experience with online dating. I was excited to try it, but things didn't go as planned. It was a journey full of surprises, lessons, and emotions. Let's start from the beginning. My name is Lily. I am 35 years old. I have had 2 boyfriends in the past. My first boyfriend was Daniel. He was kind and funny, and we had a lot of fun together. We dated for almost 2 years, but in the end, we wanted different things. Daniel wanted to move to another country, and I wanted to stay close to my family. We talked about it a lot, but we couldn't agree, so we decided to break up. It was sad, but I knew it was the right choice. A few years later, I met my second boyfriend, Alex. He was confident and fun, and we did a lot of exciting things together. But after about a year, he became very busy with work. He canceled plans, and I felt like I wasn't important to him anymore. When I told him how I felt, he said he couldn't give me the time I deserved. We broke up, and it was hard, but I knew I needed someone who would make me a priority. After the breakup, I decided to take a break from dating. I spent time working on myself, enjoying my hobbies, and being with friends and family. I told myself, I will date again when I feel ready. However, many of my friends are married. Some of them already have children and live busy family lives. Every time we meet, they tell me about their kids or their partners. I feel happy for them, but I also feel a little sad. At family gatherings, it is always the same. My relatives ask me, "When will you get married?" My mother says, "You are not getting any younger. Don't you want a family?" My aunt adds, "We can help you find someone nice." I smile and say, "I will find someone when the time is right." But inside, I feel stressed. It is not easy to stay single when everyone around you is in a relationship. One evening, after a big family dinner, I went home feeling tired and frustrated. I thought to myself, maybe I need to try something new. That's when I decided to try online dating. I downloaded a popular dating app, created my profile, and added some pictures of myself. I wrote about my hobbies and what I was looking for. I felt nervous, but also a little excited. After a few days, I matched with a man named Mark. His profile caught my attention right away. He was 37 years old and worked as a software engineer. Mark wrote that he loved hiking, cooking, and reading mystery books. He seemed interesting and kind, so I decided to send him a message. Mark replied quickly, and we started chatting. He asked me about my job, my favorite hobbies, and my favorite foods. He told me that he loved making homemade pizza and hiking in the mountains. Mark also said, "I would love to take you on a hiking trip someday." I thought he was charming and funny. After 2 weeks of chatting, he asked, "Do you want to meet in person?" I felt excited and said yes. We decided to meet at a small, cozy cafe in the city. On the day of the meeting, I was very nervous. I chose my favorite blue dress and spent extra time getting ready. When I arrived at the cafe, I saw Mark sitting by the window. He looked just like his pictures. That was a relief. We talked for hours. We shared stories about our childhood, talked about our favorite books, and laughed about funny moments in life. Mark made me feel comfortable, and I enjoyed his company. At the end of the date, he smiled and said, "I had a great time. Can we meet again?" I said, "Yes, I would like that." After our first meeting, Mark started texting me more often. At first, I thought it was sweet. He sent messages like, "Good morning," "I hope you have a great day," or "What are you having for lunch?" These little texts made me smile. It felt nice to have someone care about me and think about me during the day. But as the days passed, the messages became too much. Mark started texting me almost every hour. At first, it was small questions like, "What are you doing?" But then he started asking, "Why didn't you reply?" If I didn't answer quickly, he would send more messages, one after the other. One evening, I went out for dinner with my friends. I put my phone in my bag because I wanted to enjoy the evening and spend time with them. When I finally checked my phone a few hours later, I was shocked. I saw 15 missed calls from Mark. There were also many messages from him. The messages said things like, "Are you okay?" and "Why are you ignoring me?" I felt overwhelmed and didn't know how to respond. I thought to myself, why is he acting like this? We've only just started seeing each other. I felt confused and a little scared. I decided I needed to talk to Mark about his behavior. During our next conversation, I said gently, "Mark, I like spending time with you, but I need some space. You don't have to text me all the time." Mark looked at me with a serious face and said, "I'm sorry. I just care about you a lot." His words sounded kind, and for a moment, I hoped things would get better. But deep down, I wasn't sure if he would really change. For a few days, things seemed okay. Mark didn't text me as much, and I started to feel a bit more relaxed. But then something strange happened. One day, I posted a picture of a new book I had just bought on social media. I was excited about the book and wanted to share it with my friends. A few minutes later, my phone rang. It was Mark. When I answered, he said, "Why didn't you tell me you bought a new book? Don't you want to share things with me?" I didn't know what to say. I was shocked and confused. I thought, why is he so upset about this? It's just a book. It felt like Mark was watching everything I did. His behavior made me feel uncomfortable and uneasy. The situation with Mark got worse and worse. One weekend, I went shopping with my cousin. It was a normal day, and I didn't think I needed to tell Mark. After all, it was just a quick trip to the mall. While we were walking around and looking at clothes, I suddenly saw Mark near the food court. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting to see him there. He walked up to me and said, "Why didn't you tell me you were here?" I was confused. I hadn't told him about my plans, so how did he know? I asked him, "How did you know I was here?" Mark hesitated and then said, "I guessed." His answer didn't make sense. How could he guess I was at the mall? It felt strange, and I didn't believe him. I started to feel scared, like he had been following me. I quickly ended the conversation. My cousin stayed close to me because she could see I was uncomfortable. We walked away, but I couldn't stop thinking about what had just happened. That evening, I knew I had to do something. Mark's behavior was making me feel stressed and unsafe. I decided to end things. I called Mark and said, "This isn't working. I think we should stop seeing each other." Mark sounded upset and said, "Please give me another chance. I will change." For a moment I felt bad, but I knew I had to put myself first. I said, "I'm sorry, but I've made up my mind." Then I ended the call. After I broke up with Mark, I felt sad but also relieved. I had hoped our relationship would work, but I knew I had made the right choice. The first thing I did was delete the dating app. I realized I wasn't ready for a relationship. I needed time to focus on myself and what made me happy. My family still asks me, "When will you get married?" But their questions don't bother me anymore. I smile and say, "I'm happy now." I started doing things that made me feel good. I took up painting, something I had always wanted to try. I joined an art class and met new friends. Painting helps me relax and feel creative. It makes me very happy. I also decided to travel alone for the first time. I went to a new country, explored beautiful places, and met new people. It was an amazing experience. Traveling alone made me feel strong and independent. I learned that I can enjoy life on my own. This experience taught me a lot about myself and relationships. I learned that not every relationship is good for you. If something doesn't feel right, it's okay to leave. It's better to walk away than to stay in a bad situation. I also learned to trust my feelings. When I saw red flags with Mark, I ignored them at first. But later, I realized those signs were important. They showed me that something was wrong. Most of all, I learned that my happiness and peace are more important than being in a relationship. A good relationship should make you feel happy and supported, not scared or stressed. Now, I focus on myself and enjoy my life. I love my hobbies, my travels, and spending time with people who care about me. I don't know what the future will bring, but for now, I am happy being single and living life my way. Have you ever had a strange or funny dating experience? What did you learn from it? Share your story in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time with another story.